Good morning, class. Please stand up for our prayer. Miss Banyes, please lead the prayer. And then your Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Again, good morning, class. So before you take your seats, please arrange your chairs properly. And please pick up some pieces of papers and trashes under your chairs. You may now take your seats. So let's have your attendance first. Boys, count off. Girls, count off. Very good. Everyone is present today. So, last meeting, we tackled about what? Anyone? Miss Toremocha? What was our last discussion all about? Exactly, we tackled about the factors in learning related to the development of cognition and metacognition and the suggested strategies to help students process information. So do you have any clarifications or any questions? Nasabtan ba ang last discussion? So very good. So now let's proceed to our new topic. But before that, I have here prepared a jumbled letters and I need 2 volunteers to come here in front and find the missing letters adding a words. Yes, Miss Torijas and Miss Bautista, please come here in front. Yes, very good. They got it right. So the words here is implications of cognitive theories on teaching and learning. So, mo proceed sa atong discussion. Nako gi-prepare nga activity, a group activity. I will divide the class into 3 groups, and each group will be assigning 3 keywords. Yes, I will assign each group 2 keywords and ilaning i-explain sa ilahang grupo, mag-brainstorm sila, and then they need to select at least 2 representatives to present sa ilahang mga na brainstorm nga ideas about adto nga keywords nga na-assign nila. Nasabtan? So, this will be the group 1, group 2, and the group 3. So, the first presenter will be the group 1. Please select your representative. Thank you, group 1. Very kuan jud kayo no, makita jud nato nga nagkuan sila. Na sila kanang nag-brainstorm jud sila og naay collaboration between sa members sa grupo. Next, group 2. Yes, very good, group 2. Next, group 3. Very good. So, tanang yung grupo is makita jud nato nga naay collaboration between the members. No. So, thank you very much, group 1, group 2, and group 3. Your answers is correct. And now, I have 3 questions. And I need volunteers. If walay mo volunteer, I need to select random students ha nga mo answer sa akong pangutana. Nasabtan? Sinabota? Very good. So first question. What have you observed after doing our activity? Mr. Rendon. Yes, very good, Mr. Rendon. Thank you. Next question. How can you help students who has difficulty in learning? Yes, Miss Cajes. Very well said, Miss Cajes. Next question. What teaching method or strategy you might use in handling students who have difficulty in learning? Yes, Miss Banyes. What a brilliant idea, Miss Banyas. So, your answers is all correct. So, our topic for today is about implications of cognitive theories on teaching and learning. So, it is important for teachers to develop the highest possible limits, the cognitive and metacognitive abilities of students. So, the goal of the student is not to turn everyone into genius, but to help each student to reach their full intellectual capacity and become more effective learner. There are 5 basic characteristics of classroom instruction based on cognitive theories. First, we have emphasis on the active involvement of the learner in the learning process, or what we call learner control. So, this means that learning is not simply about passively receiving information from a teacher or a text. Instead, it is about the learners actively engaging with the materials, processing it, making connections, and applying it in a meaningful ways. So, wala siya nagdepende sa teacher pag-receive sa information nga gihatag sa teacher. Instead, about siya sa kanang engagement sa students o giunsa niya pag-process ang information nga gihatag o unsaon niya paghimo og connection o unsaon niya pag-apply to nga mga information nga iyang nadawat into meaningful ways. So that's the first basic characteristic. So the next characteristic is a metacognitive training. We have self-planning, monitoring, and revising strategies. So it is a set of strategies designed to help learners to become more aware of their own thinking process and how to learn more effectively. So makatabang ni siya sa students para ma-aware sila sa ilahang thinking process ug unsaon pud nila pagka-learn more effectively. So now let's proceed to the third characteristic. We have use of hierarchical analysis to identify and illustrate prerequisite relationship. So they have cognitive task and analysis procedures. So it helps us visualize how knowledge and skills build upon each other, creating a clear path for learners to acquire complex abilities. So kani siya is kanang nabitaw siya step by step or na siya process. Yes, na siya process para na siya process aron kuan bitaw ka sa kanang clear path nimo and ma-acquire nimo ang mga complex abilities nga naa nimo. So the fourth kanang basic characteristics of classroom instruction based on cognitive theories is emphasis on structuring, organizing, and sequencing information to facilitate optimal processing, like outlining, summarize, and advanced organizers. So, well-structured, organized, and sequenced information is easier to understand and process. Learners are better able to apply knowledge in different contexts when they have a clear understanding of the structure and organization. Mas dali masabtan sa isa ka learners if ang information is well structured, organized, and sequenced. Yes. So the last basic characteristic is the creation of learning environments that allow and encourage students to make connection with previous learning materials. So, example ani is kanang bitang before mag-introduce ang teacher sa new topic is mag-recall na siya sa unsay inyong learnings nga nakuha adtong iyahang previous nga discussion. Diba? Mangayon na siya og kanang inyong nasabtan sa iyahang previous nga discussion before siya mo proceed sa iyahang new nga topic. Because this characteristic is recognizes that learning is not a series of isolated events, but a process of building interconnected knowledge. It is continuous process. Kay ang imuhang knowledge, ang imuhang previous knowledge is pwede siya nimo magamit, imo siyang magamit sa karon nga discussion sa inyo, teacher. Since we're done discussing the basic characteristics of classroom instruction based on cognitive theories, let's jump on to the teaching methods based on principles of cognitive learning theories. So there are 6 teaching methods. We have cognitive apprenticeship, reciprocal teaching, anchored instruction, inquiry learning, discovery learning, and the last one is problem-based learning. So let's tackle first the first teaching method, the cognitive apprenticeship. So when we say cognitive apprenticeship, it is a method of helping students grasp concepts and procedures under the guidance of a teacher or expert. So in cognitive apprenticeship, there are 5 key elements. We have modeling, coaching, articulation, reflection, and exploration. Let's tackle first the modeling. So when we say modeling, the teacher does the task or explaining the process. From the word itself, modeling. So gi-explain sa teacher ang process ug unsaon ang isa ka task. And next, we have coaching. Coaching, or pwede po siya makuha og scaffolding. Yes, because the students do the same task and teacher observes the students and give feedback and on how to do it. So, ani nga key element is ang students na ang nagbuhat sa isa ka task, then ang teacher is ga-observe siya sa iyang estudyante ug muhatag pud siya og feedback ug unsaon na siya pag-perform ana nga task. And we have the third element, the articulation. Articulation is the students are asked to think out loud about how they perform the task and offers reasons for strategies. So the teacher can give feedback and determine if there are misconception. So aning articulation is ang student na ang mo kuan ani og unsaon nila pag-perform, and then ang teacher mohatag og feedback og unsay sayop nga nabuha or misconception nga nakuan sa learner. So the fourth key elements of cognitive apprenticeship is the reflection. When we say reflection, students retrospectively think of their performance and completing the task. So ilahang i-reflect ang ila sigurong performance or unsa ilahang nakuan nga knowledge ana nga paghuman after doing that task. And next, we have the last key element, the exploration. Exploration, it is the teacher urge the students to identify problem, formulate hypothesis, and seek needed information to solve it. So ani nga key elements is ag teacher kuan niya ang students nga identify ang problem and mag-seek og mga information, mag-explore sila og unsa pay mga information nga kinahanglan para ma-solve ang isa ka task. Ay nga na siya. Example of cognitive apprenticeship is in a high school English class. Students are learning how to write persuasive essays. The teacher begins by modeling the process, outlining the steps involved, and thinking aloud as they write an essay on a sample topic. Students then work in pairs, with one student acting as the expert and the other one as apprentice. So, the expert guides the apprentice through the writing process, providing the feedback and asking questions for encouraging reflection. Then after that guidance from the expert, providing feedback and asking questions for encouraging reflection, the student write their own essay applying the skills they have learned through the observation, practice, and reflection. So ani nga example is makita nato ang modeling, coaching, articulation, reflection, and exploration. So mo na siya ang example sa ato ang cognitive apprenticeship kay adto nga kuan before gipagama sila og persuasive essay, right? Persuasive essay sa ilang teacher is gi-model mo na gi-explain daan sa teacher ang process o ang outline sa paghimo sa isa ka persuasive essays. And then kuan sila gi-work sila by pairs, and then ang isa nag-act as expert and ang isa is apprentice, which is ang expert mao'y nag-guide sa apprentice modo siya mahugto siya og sa coaching or the scaffolding kay ang expert mao may naghatag og guidance sa isa ka apprentice. And then after paghatag sa expert ato sa apprentice og guidance, gitagan pud niya og feedback and asking questions to encourage reflection. And then after gitagaan og guidance, feedback, and gitudluan ang apprentice sa expert, so naka-create na siya og ihang own essay by applying the skills that nga iyahang na-learn through observation, practice, and reflection. So mao to siya example sa cognitive apprenticeship. So the next teaching method is reciprocal teaching. So when we say reciprocal teaching, it is an instructional activity in the form of dialogue or in exchanging information between teacher and students about certain parts of the lesson. So from the word itself, reciprocal, it is the exchanging of information between the teacher and the students. Example ani is discussion, my discussion. I ask questions and ang kamo nga students is nag-answer sa ako ang pangutana. Mao na siya na dialogue. Dialogue, exchange of information between teachers and students. So the third teaching methods is the anchored instruction. When we say anchored instruction, it is a student-centered approach that uses real-world problems or scenarios as a hook to motivate and encourage students in learning. So mas engaging and interesting ang ato ang discussion if magamit ta og world problems or scenarios sa ato ang discussion, di ba? Mas interesting siya for the learners kay kuan man siya makarelate ta kay real world problems man siya. So it encourages students to conduct investigations and generate their own understanding of a topic rather than simply receiving information from the teacher. So mag-need siya og investigation, i-process ilahang utok ang ilahang kaugalingong understanding, dili lang sa simple nga pagdawat nila sa information gikan sa ilahang students. Need nila i-process ilang kaugalingon, i-reflect sa ilang sakto ba ni siya, ingana. So the fourth one is inquiry learning. When we say inquiry learning, it is also a student-centered approach that emphasizes active exploration and experimentation. Students are encouraged to discover knowledge for themselves through hands-on activities, problem solving, and inquiry-based learning. So ani nga inquiry learning is nag-encourage siya sa students og kanang unsaon giunsa nimo pag-inquire ana nga knowledge. Fifth one is discovery learning. When we say discovery learning, it is an approach where students interact with their environment, manipulate things, explore, experiment experiment for them to discover principles and important relationships. So, para maka-discover sila og new learnings, they need to interact with their environments, manipulate things, or need nila mo explore and na magkuan og experiment para na sila makuan nga discovery learning. Yes. So the last teaching method is the problem-based learning. So problem-based learning is a real-life problem or ill-structured questions presented to students, having many possible questions, and they are asked to find or come up with the most appropriate or best solution. So problem-based learning, from the word itself, problem-based. So kuan jud ni siya is real life problem. Ani is gi-encourage ang students nga makahimo sila og many possible nga mga solution sa isa ka problema, but magkuan pod og unsa jud ang best appropriate nga solution adto nga problema. So again, the 6 teaching methods based on the principles of cognitive theories are cognitive apprenticeship, reciprocal learning, anchored instruction, inquiry learning, discovery learning, and problem-based learning. Do you have any questions, clarification about sa 6 teaching methods based on principles of cognitive learning theory? Then if none, let's proceed to our application. So for your application, I will divide you into 2 groups, and this will be the group 1 and the group 2. And all you have to do is to make a role play. So this group 1, I will be giving you the cognitive apprenticeship. Inyuhan ni siyang i-role play og unsa ni siya pag-apply sa ato ang sa classroom settings. And sa second group is the reciprocal learning. So I will give you 5 minutes to brainstorm your ideas, and after that mo-proceed ta sa ato ang role play. So done, let's welcome the first presenter, the group 1. Very good. So giak jud nila no, lihiro jud kay ni si Crystal. Next we have the group 2. Yes, very good. So lihiro gid kayo ni si kuan ba? Pwede na daw mga kuan artista ni Rendon jud. Lihiro kayo ni si mo acting. No. So both groups presented well to their task. So let's proceed now to our activity. So get 1/4 and answer this following question. So pass your papers if you're done. So pass your papers in front. Late papers will not be accepted. So are all papers in? So that's good. Who got the perfect score? So wow, almost ang tanan nagkakauha og perfect score. So nakasabot jud mo no. Very good. That's good to hear. For tamang uli is I will give you an assignment, and I want you to advance study sa our next topic. And for your concluding activity, I will give you a piece of paper and write your understanding or comment sa ato ang discussion. So please pass. So that would be all. Thank you.